Good morning, North Nation. What a blessing it is to be here with you heading into week 12.
6 out of the last 7 years, either Rockers or Bully Springs have made the state championship. You've taken down both of them this year. What does that say about this team, and what does it mean to you?
Well, I think it's a step in the right direction for our program. Obviously, we've talked about that, and we've visited about that even with our kids in the program that, you know, last year we wanted to prove we could play with Blue Springs, and this year the goal was to beat them. And then that win the other night was kind of, we talked about it Monday in there, what the seniors have done now for the upcoming years. Those kids know that we can beat Rockhurst, and that stigma's kind of gone. So it's not, you don't have that mental block there. So it isn't anything I've done. It's a credit to that group of seniors that's leading the way on this deal.
Before the season, the football program had only one conference title and one district title. After winning conference and being one win away from winning the district championship, what would it mean to you to double both those win totals?
Well, again, I think that when we met in the offseason with the Leadership Council, and, you know, when you had this group of seniors that we talked about, the two main goals was to win the conference. They got that one done and then play game 11. So obviously once we hit that, then we said, hey, we got to reset our goals. So obviously I know they understand the magnitude of Friday night's game, and to win that championship, I know how much that would mean to this group of seniors. So our job as the coaches is to go out there and try to put them in the right places as best as possible so we can make that happen.
When game planning against Rockhurst, were you expecting to run the ball a majority of the time, or was that an in-game decision? The kind of
every game kind of unfolds differently. So we never go into a game saying we're going to do this or we're going to do that. The way that game kind of, we jumped on them 17-0, which was kind of unexpected. And then the way they kind of took that, I think it was a 15 or 16 play drive right before half and went down and put the ball in. So they kind of made it 7-17. And then they came out of the locker room at halftime and they got the ball first. And then they went on a long drive again, so now they closed it from 17-0. Now it's 14-17, and we haven't touched the ball yet. So things kind of change in that because, like I told our coaches, I said we're going to play into the wind in the third quarter so we can have the wind at our back in the fourth quarter. So with that happening, the mindset was we need to eat the clock and keep the defense off the field, which we did not do a very good job of. But then once we got into the fourth quarter, the defense had been out there forever, so the last thing you want to do is go and not eat any time off the clock and put them back on the field. So you go from a play caller to kind of a game manager in that situation. So the same thing I told the kids on Saturday. An ugly win is better than a pretty loss any day of the book. You know, we're still playing. That's all that matters. Advance and move on.
We talked to Coach Cruz yesterday, and he somewhat jokingly called you crazy. What is it like coaching against a former teammate? Is he crazy?
Well, Coach Cruz was a quarterback in college, so, you know, they got to be cool, calm, and collective, those guys. I was a safety in college, so it's kind of every day of practice we went against each other. But we played together, like you said. We GA'd together at Northwest, so we were both assistant coaches there. Very blessed. When I took my first head coaching job, he was the first guy I hired to run our offense. So I got the privilege of having him as our offensive coordinator for 4 years. Then when I left and went to Arkansas, he took the Ray Peck job. And then I didn't stay in Arkansas very long, so when I came back, he hired me. So I was an assistant for him for 1 year, so that thing kind of flipped. But been great friends. Our wives ran cross the country together at Northwest, so been family friends forever.
When playing against a player of Luke Grimm's caliber before games, do you put an emphasis on his talent to prepare the team, or you just treat him like another opponent?
No, you don't treat him like any average person. I think the thing that we're going to make sure our players, which they've done all year, you know, we've went against some great athletes all year. We have, you know, our guys that we think are our fast guys, just like he's a fast guy, that they're gonna know where he's at, because obviously with his speed he can hurt you in a hurry. So defensively, our eyes have to be on him for sure. Again, just great being here today. Again, hoping everybody's out there Friday night. It's a huge game. It's a championship game. The way the district and everything lines up in the state of Missouri, this is our last chance to have a home game. So if we advance Friday night, we'll be headed over to St. Louis. So hopefully everybody will be heading that way next week. But let's take care of step one first and pack the stands on Friday night. Bring the energy. War Eagles. War Eagles.